anybody want to say anything about Mike Gundy?
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
I have my thoughts about it. I almost posted a video, but I just had too much else going on.
We need a commissioner is what we need. Somebody that's got the ability to sit somebody down for a couple of games for being a unenlightened adult would be the, in parenthesis, unenlightened dolt would be what you'd put, that why he has to sit out for 2 games. Because, again, he's got the right, certainly, to support, wear whatever he wants, say whatever he wants, I guess. But at the same time, I think that when you are in a position, it doesn't make any sense when you're in a position that you are, that you would take a position like that. And again, it just falls back under the, we got to flow this money through this state by prostituting these kids. And, it just doesn't ring true. I don't know how you can recruit anybody to come play at your school when you have this, or the Iowa situation, the same thing. How can you as a coach, or you as even a guy on the team, say, oh yeah, come here, it's great, and then kind of suppress the idea, yeah, but when you get here, they're going to treat you like a second-class citizen, which is kind of the big secret that everybody kept for a long time at Iowa, it seems like. So I don't know. It just, to me, people just show their lack of intelligence when they get caught up in situations like this. And I have wanted to tweet any number of things over the years and say different things over the years publicly on message boards and wherever. And sometimes the best message is the one you don't send. And don't put yourself in that position. Don't take a stand on something that is, maybe you believe it, maybe you're just trying to say something humorous or funny, and it's just gonna backfire in your face. You just have to watch when you're in the public eye. Everything you do and say needs to be letter perfect. And this is that time, this is that place where you really have to watch what it is you say and what you do. And if you don't, there's grave consequences. I mean, we've seen people lose jobs over stuff like this. They fired the guy at Iowa, the strength coach. He was the scapegoat. They didn't fire Kirk Ferentz. They fired the strength coach. They're not going to fire Mike Gundy, because then you're in a court battle, for years trying to figure out what you owe him. Was he fired for cause, etc.? And it's all a gray area. So I don't know. I mean, you look at Dabo Sweeney. I mean, going back on Gundy, and again, he didn't show any kind of contrition, didn't show any kind of remorse over the whole situation. And they made Hubbard feel bad for bringing it to the public light, is how I kind of came away from it. And I don't know.
So educate and inform me between the three of you on this one, because this is what I know. And maybe I'm missing something here because I didn't do the deep dive on it. Mike Gundy goes on a fishing trip. There's a picture taken of him. He's got a news network, OAN, on his shirt. I know next to nothing about this network. I don't watch it. I know they're conservative. I know that I've got a few people in my life that vouch for it as a legitimate news network, but I don't know. So that's where all this started, right? There was nothing else involved. Just him having he could have had CNN on his shirt, or MSNBC or Fox News or whatever. And then Chuba Hubbard gets all bent out of shape over that. And then suddenly there's other things going on in the program. So had he not worn this shirt and had a picture, the program evidently would have been fine, but there were things going on with the program that needed to be changed suddenly because there was a t-shirt worn on a picture.
I don't know this.
I don't follow.
I don't know this completely, but as I understand it, that network may have aired programming where they were kind of lampooning the Black Lives Matter movement. And I think that's what rubbed people the wrong way. And maybe it was brought to the attention of the players that you can't abide this. Your coach is wearing something that a network that has worked against the Black Lives Matter cause, or maybe made pointed commentary about how it's misguided or whatever it may be. And again, I'm just, without firsthand knowledge, I think that's what's come up in the discussion, is that they haven't been of the networks, they've been the least receptive to the idea, perhaps, of Black Lives Matter. So that may be.
But I'm guessing that Chuba Hubbard doesn't know this. I don't know.
Maybe
it doesn't take long to find out on Twitter.
Yeah,
that was pretty quick.
Second issue is that why does everything have to be out in public? I hear this rhetoric all the time about we're a family, we're a brotherhood, and all this business. Well,
until
if my
son
does something I don't like, do I throw him under the bus on Twitter, or my best friend, or my brother? No, I go talk to them.
Mark, do you know how many people we have all had to, over the years, mute on Facebook because they are detailing every instance of my wife and I had another argument and she's been cheating, and and this, my cousin was cheating, and like that's what people do. They put it all out there for everybody. So, when by now a 20-year-old has grown up with that. They've been doing it. Facebook has been around for a decade, more than that, and so is Twitter. So this is, I get what you're saying. Like,
and I don't want to
in-house
him because he's not alone. Yeah. And that's what's done now. The Florida State players did the same thing with Mike Norvell instead of, I just don't get that. I just don't understand that. And it's supposed to be such a brotherhood and family. That's
but maybe stuff like that has happened.
We're a brotherhood. We're a family. But we're going to sell one of you out on social media as soon as we just don't like something. We didn't talk to you. We may misinterpret what's going on here, but we're just going to throw it out for the world to see.
I could say maybe things like that have happened in-house and nothing has happened from it. And so
that were the case.
And this is the escalated step of that. And clearly, something's happened. Coaches, wearing whatever they want, that's fine. Just realize that it's also about recruiting and presenting a place that is welcoming to players. And if you don't have that, then they're going to go. And so if you don't want to be part of that, if you don't want to be part of that presentation as the head coach, okay, but you're not going to be the great recruiter, or you're not going to find players as welcoming and wanting to join you as possible if you don't give them a place that feels welcoming to them.
Absolutely. So what's morally correct, or the ethics of it, doesn't always line up with what's just smart business. The NFL is doing smart business right now. They did different smart business. They could care less. I'm not talking about every individual inside the NFL. There are caring individuals everywhere. But as an organization, all they care about is the money rolling in and the fans showing up and turning on the TVs. So that slant and that lean publicly in the public square is different today than it was in 2016 in the NFL. Their moral judgment is no different today than it was 3 years ago. They're just smart business people. And that's what I have a problem with, that they suddenly, and not just the NFL, everybody takes a moral high ground and says, oh, well, we're doing the right thing. No, you're not. No, you're not necessarily doing the right thing for the right reasons. You've been taking a moral stand. You've taken a business stand. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't tell us that.
Yeah. Say one thing and do another, that type thing, and try to put your best foot forward for public relations and recruiting purposes. But again, those players that are in the program know what you're really all about. So when we saw those guys from Iowa come out and make comments, and the other players from Oklahoma State come out and say, yeah, there's some things that need to be fixed there, then, that's when you can take it to the bank that something's wrong. And I think in any of these programs, there's going to be people who don't get to play, who are disgruntled, maybe feel they didn't get the right injury or academic support or coaching or support, or however you want to put it. They'll always have an axe to grind or a bone to pick. So sometimes you have to take some of it with a grain of salt. But I think when there's a cacophony, like we think it was last Friday, we talked about the Iowa situation when it became one guy and then two guys and then five guys and whatever, one or two guys is an isolated problem. 5 to 10 guys is you've got a major systematic issue. So, yeah, I think that's kind of how I would rate it.